The Baltimore Orioles, they were back, then they weren't, and then they were back again, and then they weren't. They lose to the Detroit Tigers by the final score of 6-4 in extra innings, 10 to be exact. Honestly, if we're ranking losses, this is up near the top, if not the worst loss of the year for this team. There's honestly, I thought we were going to have, look, that ninth inning, so many fun things that started off. I'm like, oh, look, hey, this team finally starting to show something. And then, of course, we all know what happened. I'm Kevin Oestreicher. This is Kevin and Zach Reacts. We are your post-game Orioles destination. So we bring you everything you need. The happy moments, the sad moments, the angry moments, the ecstatic moments. We have all the emotions here for you. We react to them with you. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here. If you are a reactor, which is what we call our everyday people who tune in here. If you're close to every day, close to every game, appreciate you for all the consistent support. But man, this one hurts. Certainly a heartbreaker. But I'm not the only one who is going to hop on here and talk to you with their heart broken. While celebrating love, Zach Bollinger pops in with his heart broken. Look at this. Can you give us a fit check? Can you give us a fit check?
We got the suit on, Kevin. I'm out here actually ending a beautiful reception place.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, but Kevin, it might be a day of celebrating love, but it's also a day of heartbreak because the Baltimore Orioles just simply shit the bed. The Baltimore Orioles had the game handed to them. They went out there and they got it. And then they did everything in their power to throw it away. Just the word of the day. Usually it's draining. Today I'm going pathetic. Pathetic. You had two opportunities, Setty's ground out and then Tony's pop out, where it felt like you gotta, Kevin, what's something we talk about every single time on the show? Put pressure on the defense, take chances, make them make a play. The Orioles had two opportunities to do that to win the game. Do you know how much pressure it is on you to make a perfect throw when the game's on the line?
Yeah.
They can't do it. They sit on their hands and they lose the game. And as soon as that ninth inning ended, unfortunately, they deserved to lose it. Kevin, I tweeted this out, but it just feels so – I have to say it as well. The Baltimore Orioles were a single quality at bat. You just find a way. You didn't need a hit, fly ball, some sort of ground out to, any sort of gap, anything. You get anything with no outs, winning run on third. You're sitting here, Kevin, and we're talking about the momentum is completely back. We're sitting here saying team is totally back. Everything's going well. Actually, it would have been up to Seattle. If the Orioles would have won today and Seattle loses, I believe they're playing right now, Orioles would have clinched the playoffs. We'd be popping champagne right now, Kevin. Yeah. But no, we're not. We're sitting here talking about another word of the day, pathetic loss at the hands of the Baltimore Orioles in a game that they should have won. I'm not going to sit here and say they outplayed the Tigers, but they had the opportunity of a lifetime, second and third, no outs, and you couldn't get it done. It's pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, so let's just start there. Let's start in the ninth inning, where this is a 4-2 ball game. You get Heston, who shout out Heston, by the way. Just
please, jeez,
big shout out to Heston. He gets the job done. And then, man, what a game for Emmanuel Rivera, the prince that was promised. Another one for this Baltimore Orioles team, man. You get 2 on, and then Jackson draws the 5-pitch walk, and we will talk about Jackson. Don't get me wrong. But then Gunnar comes up, and it's the 2-run double, man, and everybody's celebrating second and third because, they load the bases all the time. And, we've talked a lot about how, well, bases loaded. Feel more comfortable with them with no guys on base as opposed to bases loaded. Well, Gunnar got the job done. Gunnar was clutch. And so you're like, okay, they're showing us stuff they haven't shown us. Like, this is new. Like, they're hitting with guys here. Like, this is clutch. Bases loaded. You're bringing guys in. So second and third with no out, you're thinking, well, if this is a different team and we just saw Gunnar hit with the bases loaded, well, of course, you have to be able to get one run in to win the game. Second and third with no out. Well, you get two extremely unproductive outs, which includes Tony on 2-0 count, right? 2-0 count.
Yep. I couldn't believe my eyes, Kevin.
Yeah. They don't want to pitch to him. They don't want to pitch to him.
They were blatantly pitching around you. I'm surprised down 2-0 they didn't give the four fingers to just walk him.
Yeah, they clearly were pitching around him. Like, there's no question. And it was a bad pitch to swing at and just pops it right up. And
yeah,
obviously
Kevin, switch sides real quick.
Huh?
Hunter just brought it up. We got to switch sides.
Oh.
Kevin, it's only right. It's only right. Thank you. Thank you. Continue your point.
Well, we'll get to the base running and everything. But again, Tony pops it up. And then obviously Colton comes up and it's just, it's disappointing. Like, when that happened, I mean, again, it's when did the Orioles lose the game? It's when that happened. Like, it's when they couldn't win the game in the ninth. So it's
unfortunately, that's the thing, is you can throw innings 1 through 8 out, because no matter what happened in the ninth inning, you had the opportunity. You had 3 at bats with a shot at getting the winning run in. You didn't need a single hit. Fly ball, ground ball, anything. And you could argue that they got the opportunities. That's what I'll say. I think they could have scored on either one. They weren't aggressive. And that's unfortunate to see, because we talk about it all the time, Kevin. Being aggressive, taking bases, taking extra bases, stealing bases, turning singles into doubles, doubles into triples, taking home on a play where people didn't think you could necessarily, it's a guarantee send. That's kind of what separated the Orioles last year, was they were a feisty team that were going to just find a way. If they hit one in the gap, but it was a single, you can even argue that Holliday could have scored on Gunnar's hit.
Yeah.
It just felt like, unfortunately, and I do want to put out there, I would completely agree holding Holliday on Gunnar's hit, because with no outs, winning run on third, you should get that guy in. There's no, that one I'm not upset about. But this team, it's just the aggressiveness. It's unwarranted at times. It feels like they're sending guys at the wrong time. We saw Adley get gunned at the plate. They're being passive at the wrong times. It's just right now, once again, like I said, you felt like if they win this, especially in the way it was going, all momentum's back, but it's not. It felt like this just halted everything they had accomplished over the past 2 days into a standstill again. Makes tomorrow must win.
Yep, and we'll see Yankees and A's play what tonight.
I'm not even thinking about the division. The Yankees.
That's what I'm saying. If the Yankees win tonight, then I'm out on, like, completely. Like, not that I was thinking about it in the first place, but, like, I think that would be because that would be what, 5 with 8 games left, 5 with 7, whatever it would. That's too much. Like, I'm already out in the division, but I'm just saying that if that were to be the case and the Yankees win, then I think everybody should just look the other way on that one. But let's get to you want to say something? Sorry.
Just go say, because I just tweeted about it a few minutes ago. Jordan Westbrook home run down in AAA. That man needs to be in Baltimore tomorrow.
Yep. Well, let's get to a couple super chats, and man, Pocket Watch with the 20. Appreciate your Pocket Watch.
Oh, appreciate your Pocket Watch.
Joe on his Razorbacks sadly defeating my Auburn Tigers. If that wasn't good enough, had to watch the O's lose as well. Still feel good about the O's, though. We got this, man. Rough afternoon for you, Pocket Watch. Sorry about that. $20 though, if you're new. $20 does mean a Banksy appearance. So if you want to take it, Zach, while I go get Banksy for a second, we will. We'll be right back.
Yeah, you go get Banksy, and I'm going to talk about actually my tough day. So I don't
know if I want to miss this.
Oh, well, I'm just talking about this bet that I lost on the final drive.
Oh, yeah, I think I want. Hold on, I want to hear this. Hold on.
Okay. I'm going to talk about the Orioles. I'm going to rant about the Orioles.
Okay, all right,
you get back, and then all right. So we'll save that story. The Orioles today. What I'm most disappointed about with this team once again is the fact that it was right there. If this team goes out there and all you had to do was get a runner in from third with no outs, all they do, if they go in there and they just simply get that run, we're sitting here talking about a 3-game win streak. We're talking about how the Orioles have the momentum you wanted to see from them over the past few weeks. We've talked about get in, get hot, go win it. That's what we've been repeating time and time again on this show, and they had an opportunity. They had an opportunity. It was handed to them, and they weren't able to get it done. That's what sucks, is the opportunity was handed to them. And Kevin is back, so we have our Banksy appearance. Banksy!
Yeah, he's also upset about the Orioles, if you can't tell.
Me and him just had a quick staring contest.
Did you win?
No, he whooped my ass.
Yeah, he's staring into your soul right now.
You got a problem, kid? Yeah, he blinked. He blinked.
He won? Blinked. Yeah. Well, we also have okay. Here, you can get them. Okay, do you want to talk about your bet, or do you want to do more?
Oh my gosh, Kevin. Oh my gosh.
I want to hear it.
So I had USC money line and the under 44.5. Michigan goes down, or USC goes down 20-10. I'm like, well, game's over. Both bets are missing, whatever. With 4 minutes left, USC had the lead 24-20. So all they needed was a stop, and it was over. 3rd and 1, Michigan goes 63 yards.
Oh.
Lost both bets on a single play.
That is tough. Wow.
Even worse. It was even worse. Yep. We actually just had someone else who bet on USC bring up that they also scored on 4th and 1. That was a cool moment. You guys all know if you just saw that. Money line. That's what this is about. That's what this is about.
Yeah. Well, sorry you went through that.
Thank you, Kevin.
Tough scene.
And because of that, I have to do the responsible thing and chase my losses. So let's hope Tennessee wins.
Of course, the Zach Bollinger School of Sports Betting.
Well, let's hope Tennessee wins. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, back to the Orioles. Let's get to a couple more super chats here. Steven, $2. Appreciate you, Steven. Game's over if Mansolino just keeps Holliday on third. Obviously, meaning for the potential sack fly that was not a sack fly, sack pop up, if you want to call it that. In that situation, that's such a tough play, man. Like, if that drops and Holliday's standing on third, he can just walk in. Like, there's no benefit, in my opinion, to him not standing on third. Like, there's no benefit to him leading down the line like that.
If it's dropped, you score. If it's caught, you score.
If that drops, they don't have enough time. Like, Holliday reads that and boom, he's gone. Like, there's no benefit to him leading down the line just for him to be 1,000% safe instead of 100% safe. Like, there's no difference there. That's the big issue of just egregious. Like, that was terrible. Like, the Orioles should have won it right there. Not that it was a good pitch to swing at by Tony, but like, with the way that play was, if that dropped in, there was not going to be enough time. So
no. That's the thing, and that's what's most frustrating is it's not even like that's just something that the coach has to know. Like, that should not be – that's a situation 10 times out of 10 Jackson Holliday should be trying to tag and win this game. That's what's so frustrating about it. Kevin, I'm fed up. I'm fed up right now. This team, every time it seems like they get momentum, they find a way. It's never taken from them. It's simply given away. They had the momentum in their hands and they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. And it's those types of plays where again, wasn't the deepest fly ball hit. It was a little pop up, but in that situation, again, I'll say it again. They didn't have time to make a play. Like, or at least, and I know Aviator, you brought it up. Force them to make a play at the plate.
Thank you. It has to be a perfect throw. Perfect throw, perfect tag. How many times have we seen, even on a perfect throw, the catcher misses the ball? He's got to do a one-motion tag. Holliday has good speed. Holliday's sprint speed is one of the top in the league. I think it's over the 90th percentile. Let the kid just go out and try to win the damn game. How many times have we also seen Holliday? Kid's got savviness. He goes out there. We've seen him hit the swim move 2 or 3 times. Like, this is not they catch that, they throw it, it's automatic out. I would say Holliday scores on that 70% of the time. He's safe.
Yeah. And I think we have some breaking news. I don't know when this was put out here, but
Westberg and Urias.
Yeah, Steve and Mike saying they were removed from the game in the 5th, and it was played. So I mean, those guys they need to be back tomorrow. We're done. We're done waiting with those guys. Bring them up. So it's just like they were so back. They get a double with the bases loaded. You get runners on second and third, and you somehow can't score second and third, no out with what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Cano comes in. Hyde said he was the last arm in the bullpen that they wanted to use. So, yeah, just tough. Kyle with the 199. Appreciate you, DFA third base coach immediately. That seems to be the mood. That seems to be the mood right now in Baltimore. Aviator, you're the man. $20 from Aviator.
Oh.
Zach looking fly, my dude. Hyde irritated me. No responsibility in the postgame. How can you just sit there and make excuses? Man up and say we should have won that game. We blew it several times. We have to do better. Sad. Yeah, I didn't see exactly what Hyde said. I know he said that Cano was the last arm available. If it was just typical coach speak, then yeah, that is frustrating. I mean, accountability, responsibility, coach speak can be frustrating because obviously it's the quote unquote professional thing, but it's not what fans really want to hear, right? It's taking accountability for what happened in the games. So yeah.
Kevin, there's no excuse. Orioles should have won this game. The way, they shouldn't have, but they should have. They fought back to be in it, but at the same time, once you have men on second and third, no outs in the 9th, you got to win that ball game.
Yep, and I see just a bit outside, Mancelino messed up earlier in the game, sending Adley, then not having Holliday on the bag. So we talked about the Holliday one, but yeah, sending Adley, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have sent him. I wouldn't have sent him. Yeah, this was multiple errors from multiple people in this game, but again, okay, goodbye. Oh, wait, is he back?
Am I on? All right.
Oh, you wanted to be nice. You wanted to be nice and put me on the left. That's very kind of you.
I was very confused what just happened, if I'm being honest.
We were talking and you dropped off. But yeah, I wouldn't have sent Adley. A couple of really big egregious errors.
Can you put up what Aviator just said about me pausing / filtering? This is so true. There are times, Aviator, you nailed on the head. There are times where I'm about to I can feel a rant coming and I'm just like, it's not worth it. It sucks. It's not worth it, but no, there are times where I'll start saying something and then I'll be like, oh boy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get Heston Kjerstad Yankees Zach again.
You will not. You will not. Actually, I take that back. You probably will. And it depends on how much I have to drink on the night. On the night that the season potentially ends. That would be a night. That's for sure.
Yep. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, Jackson Holliday error. Got to make that play.
Yeah.
I know he'll say that, he'll own it, right? Like his play has to make. He understands that. Everybody understands that. But that's a double play ball, and he boots it, run scores. Tigers are able to get an extra one, so it's 4-2. I mean, that kind of shifts everything. And then obviously, I mean, I never like to play the just everything that happened in the game would be what happened in the Ultimate Universe game. But if we play that game, that gunner doubles the end of the game.
Yeah. That gunner double should have been the end of the day.
Yeah. They just couldn't get the job done. And I think that the other part of this is with
There are kids. Do you hear that in the background?
That's why
there are kids playing in the pool right now, and I don't know where else to go.
I tell you, man, go inside and get people on the camera.
Yeah, so
wow, that threw me off. I did not know what that was.
Yeah, it's just people in the pool. We're getting to that point. I guess the hot tub is getting wild.
Yeah, man. 8:15 at night, things getting crazy.
Yeah, 1 p.m. wedding, so things
All
have been
right.
going.
Yeah,
things have been going for a minute now.
That's how it goes.
Actually, the reception started at 2:30, so we're hitting hour 6 of that.
Wow. Do we have? Yep. We have Laura with the 5. Appreciate you, Laura. Just because Zach is looking so fresh and so clean, he took off the glasses, y'all. This might have to be a permanent look for you.
I know. Seriously, I might just have to start showing up, no glasses, coat and tie on.
Man, all right. Kevin and Zach react dress code for Zach is
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
This look the whole time. Comment from where's the comment? Here we go. Mike, in real time, I thought Holliday scored on Gunner's double when the infielder bobbled the cutoff. This is what you were talking about, man. Like, make them make the throw. And if Jackson was going,
safe,
they win. I mean, again, like you say, right? And I mean, you understand why.
Yeah, in that situation, you don't want to make out at home. I get it. You feel so confident, especially with the guys, Seti, Tony, back-to-back guy on third. You feel confident they get that done.
Yeah. But again, like, infielder bobbles the wall. It is a high-pressure situation, and the throw has to be perfect. And guys can make that throw. But, it's almost like, hey, sometimes maybe test them, and we'll see. And then Shante with the 15. Appreciate you. Not blaming setter Tony. How hard is it to get a fly ball? Jackson had a chance to tag up on Tony's pop-up, though, but it shouldn't have come down to them. Perez is my one down. Yeah, tough scene for CNL tonight. Although, you hate to see it with CNL, man. Didn't even get an out. The 2 runs, 3 hits. You hate that, but yeah, Tony hit the pop-up, not really a fly ball. Like, it's not a taggable fly ball. I mean, I guess it was in hindsight, right? But it's tough. Like, it's situational hitting. Productive outs that can win you ball games. And we've seen more often than not with this team, they haven't been able to really hit productive outs recently.
And they don't. Wait, am I back?
Oh, were you gone? Hello?
Yeah, it took me out for a second. But no,
okay.
This team doesn't. This team, once again, just can't come through when they need it the most. And that kind of feels like it was the theme. This year's they can't do it. Last year, it was all they did was come through when it mattered. Last year's team just finds a way. This year's team, it feels like they do find a way. They find a way to, no matter what, not get those runs in.
Yeah. It's you have to be able to have productive outs. I know a lot of people were calling for the bunt from Seti, right? Play some small ball, see what happens. Can they force something? But it's tough because we see them get the double, and then you're like, okay, are they finally going to be able to do this and get some productive outs? and like not win on the home run ball this way. They tied it up without it, but can they win it? Not that way. And they just, 3 straight outs. I still can't believe that it happened that way. It's crazy. Kyle.
Actually, Kevin, I will say I completely understand how it happened that way, but
Well, I mean, yes, it's
like
crazy.
I shouldn't believe that it happened that way after watching 100 and what are we up to 54 games now? 154 because they have 7 left. So 155 games. Very much believe this team couldn't get that in.
I'm saying it's crazy that it happened because we've seen it so many times. It's just like it doesn't. I understand why because we've seen it, but it's just like, man, really again? Like again, this happened again. Kyle with the 199. Third base coach has to be fired. We'll see in the offseason what they do with this coaching staff. I know it's, we talk about the hitting coaches, talk about third base coach, talk about Hyde. There are a lot of coaching decisions depending on how the season ends that they're going to have to figure out. I mean, I think that, if Hyde goes, they're going to revamp that coaching staff. I think they're going to, I'd assume that whoever it is next would want to bring in.
Although I will say, baseball's a weird one with that.
You can keep other coaches.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because like NFL and stuff, new guy comes in, he brings a whole new staff, he brings who he wants. MLB, it's a weird, like sometimes you'll see a new manager come in and they'll like keep the staff. So I think there would be guys. I think Tim Cousins, a lot of the pitching coaches, people won't talk about. I think the pitching coaches would be asked to stay. I think they would switch up the hitting, but I think they like what the pitchers have been doing. Because think about it, with injuries, the pitching staff's still the most consistent thing.
Yeah.
Starters, I should say. Starters.
Yes. And speaking of, I mean, Cade, Kevin, I see yours will get, but since this is, this is relevant. Kyle with another 199. Appreciate you, Kyle. Cade Povich for the 3 spot. What a turnaround, man. Cade was balling, dealing. The real Slim Cady, as I originally called him, but actually someone originally called him that. So I didn't come up with it, but I was the second to come up with it. So I'll say I'm the second. Slim Cady, man, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. Obviously had the 3 walks. You'd like to see that down a little bit, but 7 strikeouts. Man, Cade did his thing today.
All Cade Povich has done this. Is this considered his second stint? Because didn't he have that one stint where he came up for like a single start?
Yeah.
I'm going to consider this his second stint. All he's done is go out there and prove that he has major league stuff. Am I saying he's going to be a top of the line starter? Of course not. We don't know how that's going to work out. But what we've seen is this guy at his floor, I believe, is a number 4. He's a number 4. And if you already going into next year, you don't have Corbin Burns under contract, but you have guys like Grayson, Zach Eflin, people aren't going to like it, Trevor Rogers, you have Dean Kramer. Cade Povich being with a Chase McDermott, your 4 or 5 guy, is not a bad position to be in. We talk about if you get Corbin back, you like how the rotation looks a whole lot more. But the back end, I think, stays the same for the most part. I think they're going to rely on guys like Povich to step up and take that next step and be those guys in the back end of the rotation next year. It's not going to necessarily be let's go get another starter to fill that role. They're going to put those resources, hopefully, into the lineup, getting veterans there, into the bullpen. It doesn't need to be to get a 5 starter.
Yeah. I mean, I would still like for them to get another arm. Like, don't get me wrong, but they're gonna have to rely on people within the organization.
Well, I'm okay with them not getting another arm if they keep Corbin.
If they keep Corbin, because then you'd have Corbin, Eflin, Grayson. I guess
Tyler Wells comes back.
Are you putting Suarez?
I'm under the impression that Suarez will be back next year. I'm not sure of the contract situation, so we'll see. Also, you get Tyler Wells back. You eventually, hopefully, get Bradish back towards the end of next year. I could see them grabbing a veteran, that's kind of an in-between bullpen and starter type role.
Yeah,
but I don't
Kramer's
see
there
them,
also.
Yeah. I think they're also going to see what they have in Trevor Rogers. I think they have not given up on that.
Yeah, I mean they have to.
Which they
I mean,
shouldn't.
if they want any return on that deal at all. And that's why, I mean, obviously he's not going to help the club this year, but I mean, they're not going to just throwing the towel on that. I mean, what, he has 3 years left of control, 2 years left of control, whatever it is. So
Who does? Wait.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
So yeah, they won't give up on that.
2 years.
Yeah. Where is this, Kevin? Appreciate you for the 5. Don't think Jackson's ready for big game pressure. He should be used for pinch running once Westy and Urias return. I'm curious to see how that goes, whether they want to use Jackson in a platoon, how they kind of filter in those guys. Because we've definitely seen a bunch of rookie mistakes from Jackson. He's come through in the clutch a lot as well. It's definitely been a mixed bag overall for Jackson, where he's certainly struggled for points. Don't get me wrong, but he'll come up with a clutch hit or two. I'm expecting a huge Jackson year next year. I think Jackson will be big for him next year. This year, he has been inconsistent. He's I don't know what he's hitting. What, 170 overall?
God forbid
169. I was 0.01 percentage point off.
Kevin, God forbid the 20-year-old kid who went through the minor leagues in less than a year and a half struggles.
No, it's not a surprise. I'm not saying his career's over. He has quite a career ahead of him.
Has he had his moments? Yeah, but he's also had moments that make you say that's what Jackson Holliday will be. Listen, if Westberg, if Mateo, if Urias don't go down, Jackson Holliday's not in this situation, I don't think. I don't think at any point he's starting at second base for this team, but because of injuries, he's had to step up, and that's what he's done. He's stepped up. Yes, he had a costly error today, but besides that, Jackson Holliday has played some damn good defense at second base. He's played better defense than people will ever give him credit for. The bat has been streaky, but at times he's been the most clutch player. They don't win yesterday without Jackson Holliday. It's a simple fact. He scored 1 run. He got 2 others in on the RBIs. They don't win without him.
He's come up in clutch moments, but we have seen those rookie mistakes. So, to be expected. If anybody expected him to come up and be a 300 hitter with no errors and no mistakes, that's not realistic. So, they have vets coming back. Westberg's going to be huge. Urias is going to be huge. And I think, again, putting Holliday in some level of a platoon will be fine. But come playoffs, you might want to go with the vet. And I wouldn't blame them if they wanted to try out a couple of different things that way. Look at this, Zach. Aviator saying, Zach, my wife just walked in, pointed at you, and said, "Who's that guy?" Hashtag pretty fly for a white guy.
Pretty fly. I appreciate it. Sometimes I got to dress up. Sometimes I have to dress up for you all.
Man, I'm telling you, this has to be the new look. Has to be the new look.
This might be.
Yeah. The Orioles used 7 pitchers in this game overall. No, sorry, I meant 7 relievers. I was right. Bowman, Aiken, Perez, Dominguez, Soto, Baker, and Cano. Again, they wanted to stay away from Danny Coulomb and Jacob Webb in this game. Perez and Cano, obviously, really rough outings for both those guys. Cano gives up the 1 earned. Perez gets the 2 earned. But now you head into tomorrow, and I assume Soto's pitched. Well, he had 1 pitch the other night, but then he pitched a third today. So I assume Soto would be available, right? 2/3 of an inning. I know two straight days, but I'd assume he'd be available. You probably have Coulomb, probably have Webb. Maybe Bowman. I don't know. They'll have some guys, but using 7 relievers in a loss is never a good feeling.
That's why they had to win today, Kevin. Today was a must-win once you used all those relievers. Like you said, Cano was the last guy that they thought was available. You have to win that ball game.
Yeah. And it's all that thing where, you had the momentum right there. That was their opportunity. So, they blew it. They lose. They go on the rubber match tomorrow with Detroit. I don't know how things are going to work tomorrow, Zach, because the Orioles play at 1, the Ravens play at 4. So
It'll be once again post game after everything.
Yeah. All right. So post-game.
Unfortunately, that's just where we're at. Maybe depending on how things are going, I do a post game for the Orioles maybe at some point, but most likely just kind of we'll do the thing where after the Ravens game ends, I'll go live for the Orioles. You do the Ravens, and then we'll both talk or Ravens on here.
Yeah. One of the two. Either we have one stream for both, or we do two. You do the Orioles, and then we both do the Ravens, because I will be doing Locked on Ravens tomorrow. If you didn't know that, I know it's a very well kept secret. I'll keep it tight to the vest there with that. So tough game for the Orioles. Disappointing all around. I mean, it looked like they had it, but then of course they blow it. We'll be back tomorrow. Right? You have anything else, Zach, or are you about to go in and see what's popping at that 1 p.m. wedding?
We're about to go pop and see what's happening at this wedding.
Well, we'll be back here tomorrow on Kevin and Zach Reacts. Tough loss for the Orioles, but hopefully they can take the rubber match tomorrow. So be sure again to like and subscribe here on Kevin and Zach React. Also be sure to like and subscribe over in the Ron Ripken Show. We'll have a pregame show tomorrow for the Ravens before they take on the Cowboys. I believe that's going to start up right around 12, if I'm not mistaken. So be sure to stay tuned for all we have here for you on the Ryan Ripken Media Empire / Cinematic Universe. And we will be back tomorrow. Choo-bees.